good Tuesday evening to everybody out there. Thanks for joining me tonight for tonight's Plane Talk. Now, one of the things I want to do as we get rolling, before I introduce myself, is we do have a chat, and I'm going to put the chat up here because I do want to have you interact with me during these programs. I like to kind of meet who you are, see who's on the program, and I will be taking a few questions tonight as we talk about the single plane swing and what we're going to get into. So the chat's going to roll up here, and I can kind of see what's going on there. My name is Todd Graves. I'm co-founder of Graves Golf. I'm standing here right now at the Graves Golf Performance Center in Edmond, Oklahoma. We built this Performance Center approximately a year and a half ago. We opened up about a year ago, and we now have a beautiful home here where we bring people in to learn all the great things about the single plane swing, simplify golf games, which is our mission, to help you play better golf and do it in a much easier, pain-free way. So we're here at the Academy. I'm always excited to be in studio doing this with you. I spend quite a bit of time in this room because I like to present the information about the single plane swing and help you get better at golf. So that's what I'm here doing tonight. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about and it'll relate to you quite heavily, is why I'm standing here in front of you tonight. And the main reason is that about 30 years ago, I was frustrated and confused, and I went on a mission to become a better golfer. Now, all of you are here because obviously you want to find something that's going to help you play better golf. That's exactly where I was 30 years ago. I was like you. I was trying to figure out, is there something I could do to play better golf? So I started working with the best instructors in the world. I was a decent college player. I wanted to become a better golfer. And I had sponsors at the time. I had plenty of money, and I always tell people no one has spent more money on golf instruction than me. I went around looking for instruction to help me become better. I spent 3 years working with the absolute best instructors in the world at the time. I was traveling around the world, working with the best instructors, talking to the tour players who were working with coaches. And 3 years into my quest to become better at golf, I was worse. Matter of fact, I wasn't any better. I was more frustrated. I was struggling with my game even more. I was very frustrated and confused. Maybe some of you are feeling that same thing. It's why you're maybe here tonight. Now, having said that, and being in the position I was and being as frustrated as I was trying to improve. Now, this was a long time ago. There's a couple things that frustrated me a lot about golf instruction and the state of the condition that golf instruction was in 30 years ago. And by the way, it's in the same exact state today. Here's the biggest problem I had. There was no system out there to help me get better. There was no processes. There was no consistency in the instruction. There was nothing going on out there in the instruction world that made sense to me. I was an educated guy. My parents were both educators. My dad taught at the University of Oklahoma here. He taught the medical school, taught medical students. He was a microbiologist, so scientific degree. My mother was a English teacher that owned Sylvan Learning Centers. The Learning Centers here, now you've probably seen the Learning Centers around. She owned that franchise as an educator. So I come from a very educated background. From that background, I was always looking for the best way to do things. I wanted to educate myself systematically. Golf, for some reason, didn't have that. And today, it still doesn't have that. So I was very frustrated, and I was frustrated there was no systematic approach. Tonight, I want to show you. I want to answer that for you. I want to give you the first time, maybe if this is the first time you've seen me doing a presentation, I want to show you the first time you'll ever see a systematic, proven, scientific approach to a golf swing in an easier way. I'm going to show you that tonight. So you're here in the right place if you want me to help you get better at golf and show you a system that does that. Now, before I get into the whole system and talk about the single plane swing and the reason probably why you want to hear some of that, I want to talk about you and what you are dealing with right now. But before I do that, I want to do one thing. Go into the chat if this is the first time that you've joined us for a live show, because this is a live show, and every mistake and everything, every time I drop the club or fall over on the set, it's live, right? So you'll get some of that while we're doing this. But if it's the first time you've seen me live, please put a one or a yes into the comments there. I want to see how many people are joining me for the first time. I like to meet the new people that join us. Generally, we get between 300 and 1,000 people, depending on what night we do this, into the spaces here in the live space. So, okay. So let's go into you as an adult learner. One of the questions, let's go I want to put a slide up here real quick, and I want to show you what the adult learning process is. And many of you can relate to this. The adult learning process comes down to this, and I want you to think through your own personal belief system here and the way you learn things. The first thing you want to do is you want to connect with the information. And by the way, this is science and relevance to the way that we teach golf here at Graves Golf, but it's all based on, this is basically the science of how you learn. You connect with what you're learning, right? You want to know, you want to trust it, you want to believe in it, you want to commit to the process. And I've learned this as an instructor, that if you don't commit to it, that you're never going to invest enough time and energy to do it. For example, I don't like people to try things. Oh, I'll give it a shot, right? Because they're not going to give it enough effort and enough trial to make it work. So you need to fully connect with it. So that makes sense, right? The second thing is, if you're like me, and like most adults, we want to simplify it. We want to basically get this down to its most important elements. I want to get through the BS and get right to the stuff that's important, right? We want to simplify it. The next thing we know we have to practice, right? We're going to have to put some time in, but we want to do it quality practice, do it the right way. And by the way, in the comment here, you'll read is the neurological sweet spot. We all know what that is. It's that place where we're in that little sweet spot where we're getting the most out of our learning process. So we want to learn how to achieve that. And the fourth thing is, and I think it's one of the most important things on this slide, might be the most important thing on this slide, it was for me, systematize it. I want a proven system that gets me there. I want to know that the connection and the simplicity and the practice I'm putting in are based on a system that's going to get me results. Now, this is the adult learner. This is you. This is me. This is the people in this room, the adult learner. This is why when my approach to the golf swing, and what you're going to see me present tonight, will make 100% sense to you. You're going to connect with what I tell you tonight 100%. But here, I want to show you the next slide. And this is why speed matters. Because there's one question that kids never ask me. When I teach kids, they never ask me one question, is how long is this going to take, Todd? They never ask me that. I've never had anybody under the age of 20 ask me, how long is it going to take for me to learn this? But adults over the age of 21, they tend to always say, hey, I want to learn this, but how long is it going to take me, right? That's why you want the system, because speed matters to you. You want to go quickly, you want to learn it quickly, you want to get results fast. That's what adults like me and you want. I don't want to spend all my life on this. You know why? Because we're running out of time. We don't have that much time, and I got things I want to do. I want to get results quickly. That's why speed matters to you. And then I want to present to you one more thing about the advantages of you being an adult, because most people think that, old dogs can't learn new tricks, right? It's actually not true. You basically, as an adult, you have built up your ability to learn things. So you understand pattern recognition. It's called crystallized intelligence. You've learned to recognize, and you continue to grow. The other thing is you also understand how to focus on things. You've learned things before. You've built businesses. You've focused on other things in your life that you've had success with. You've learned how to focus yourself. By the way, kids have a hard time with this. Adults do not. That's a big advantage for you. You've built cognitive skills. You've already built that because you've already learned things in the past. And you're motivated because you know you want to play better golf, you want the result. Sometimes kids just do things to do it, whereas you're like, I want to get better at golf, I'm motivated to do this, I'm going to put some investment and time in this. So that's an advantage. And probably the biggest advantage you have, and this is the one on the bottom on the sheet here, is pattern recognition. You understand patterns. Matter of fact, as we get older, as we age, we get a lot better at identifying patterns because of our experiences in life. We are better at identifying the patterns of things, and we look for patterns. We start observing for patterns. Matter of fact, this is why golf has been so frustrating to you. It's because that's why it was frustrating to me, because there was no patterns out there. One instructor would tell me to do one thing, and then another instructor would tell me to do another. There was no pattern or consistency in the patterns. But I just want you to know, and the reason I put that slide up there is you actually have some real advantages as adults if you'll apply the things that I put up here. If you want to apply the things that we're going to talk about tonight, I'm going to create you as an adult as an advantage to your learning. Now, I want to go through a little formula here. And then I'll go through the single plane swing and give you some advice on simplifying your golf swing. When you go to learn anything, right? Anything. And a minute ago I talked about having a systemized approach. Tonight I want to leave you with a system. And the system I'm going to put on this board right here, not only is the system great for learning the swing if you're brand new to it, and I don't know, you guys give me a thumbs up if you're brand new to it, or give me a 1 in there if you're brand new to it. If you're brand new to the swing, this is perfect for you. It's going to teach you how to learn the swing. If you're not new to the swing, you've been doing it, this system I put up here is going to show you how to continually get better at the swing and even fix your swing if you're having problems. I'm going to do that too. If you've been doing it a long time and you just want to get better at it and what I call get stronger with it, the system I put up here is good for that too. So this is what's beautiful about systems and formulas, because they should apply to you no matter where you are in your process. If the system does not apply to where you are in the process, it's the wrong system. Right? So that's why this system's so great. So the very first thing, and by the way, I'm going to put one thing on here before I go too far. This is all based on the single plane swing. Now, I'm basing this on the single plane swing because the single plane swing is biomechanically the absolute easiest way to strike a golf ball. It's based on biomechanics. What I mean by that is everything in the swing, from the address to the backswing to the downswing to impact to release to finish, everything is related. It connects. And for example, if you take a bad address, you can't make a single plane backswing, right? So what I'm saying is that this is a systematic way. So the system I'm going to put on the board is, I'm going to teach you the swing, but the system I put on the board all connects dots for you. So keep that in mind as I go through this process. The first thing is address and grip. Okay, address and grip. I'm going to teach you tonight the address position and the hand position on the club. And notice how I said that. I said it address position and then hand position. I did not say I'm going to teach you the grip and address. I said I'm going to teach you the address and then the grip. Because, again, how I establish my body, I orient, affects my arms, affects my hands, right? So, again, it's all going to connect dots for you. I'm not going to grip the club and go, how do I get this thing to impact? Because the most important thing I'm going to help you with, I'm going to help you with the strike of a golf ball at impact. Everything I'm going to teach you about the single plane swing, which is the easiest way to do what? Get to impact. See, it's all going to connect because I'm going to help you hit a golf ball better. That's my goal, and I'm going to show you how to do that with a system. You're going to love this. Okay, so the first thing is address and grip. That address and grip helps me get to impact. It's designed to help me get to impact. How many of you is this making sense? Give me a 1, because this is, there's nothing I'm going to tell you tonight that's not like, Todd, this is so common sense. Why doesn't everybody do it this way, right? Number 2. Now that I've taught you the address and the grip, right, that's going to help me get to impact, I'm going to teach you how to move into positions that do what? Help you get to impact. So I'm going to teach you positions. And positions, quite frankly, positions are really checkpoints that I can look at my golf swing and feel my golf swing and move and train. They're checkpoints that I can train and learn that help me get to impact. Okay, so that's positions. We have 1 through 6. Number 3, once I teach you address and grip, and I teach you the positions of the swing, all the positions, and I can now sequence you, right? Sequence. I'm going to sequence you. Well, sequence is nothing more than putting the positions into motion. This is called motion, right? So I'm going to put you into motion. But I want to show you a little science here for a minute. The science of motion of the human body, you, me, anybody who wants to produce motion, and take those positions we've learned and put them into sequence, notice that when I go into a motion, that part of me is moving and part of me is not moving. So, for example, my upper body is moving, my head is not moving. My trail leg is not moving. So in order for my body to make motion three-dimensionally, part of me has to stay still as part of me moves. We call this the braking system. In other words, part of me has to be still to move around it. And that's the backswing. And then in the downswing, when I stabilize here, again, this stays still as I continue to move this, right? So part of me again is stabilizing, putting the brakes on as part of me moves, okay? So I want to know that, because when I learn sequencing, what am I actually learning? I'm learning how to stop my body. So I've learned how to move it, now I gotta learn how to stop it, all right? So that's what we call this the brakes. And then 4, we all want 4. What can I do now, right? I've taught you how to set up for impact. I've taught you how to position your body for impact. And I've taught you how to sequence your body to do what? Speed. Now I get to have the fun part, and I get to accelerate you and put speed, and that gets the ball to go a long place, right? Now, how many of you are loving this so far? Because have you ever seen anything like this before in golf instruction? No one's ever put a formula in front of you and said, that's how you build a golf swing, that's how you train a golf swing, that's how you practice a golf swing, that's how you fix a golf swing, and that's how you maintain a golf swing. It does all those things right there. And I'm gonna show you how it does it. Okay? Good with all this so far? Not too technical, pretty common sense. But here's what's interesting about this formula that I put up here. You, me, the guys in this room, everybody I've spoken with in the world of golf, learned golf exactly backwards. They learned it this way. And you, see if you agree with me. Give me a 10 if you agree with me that what you did is you grabbed a golf club out. The first thing you did is you grabbed some club, you don't know whose club it was, maybe a hand-me-down club, and you started swinging at a golf ball. Hit it. You try to add speed to the club, but you had no idea of any of this other stuff. You just started adding speed to it, right? You just grabbed the thing, started swinging away. Give me a 10, because we all did that. We all learned backwards. This is what we've done. Yeah, all the 10s, everybody. No one's, because there's never been a formula. No one's ever had a formula, right? So, okay. So let me just kind of appeal to your common sense for a minute. If I was going to learn to do anything, play the piano, what do? You learn how to put your hands where they go, positions. Then you learn the chords, positions. Then you add some sequence to it, where the 1, 2, 3, 4 notes, chords, add speed, music. But you don't play music before you know that stuff. How about learning to dance? Learn how to stand, address and stand. Then learn how to step 1, then step 2, then step 3, step 4. You learn the positions of the steps. Then you put that together into a sequence, you have a dance. Everything we've ever done, it doesn't matter what. I learned to fire a gun about 2 years ago. They taught me how to fire a weapon, and it was a systematic approach. They didn't say, here's a gun, Todd, start shooting. They didn't do that, because I would have shot somebody. What they did is they handed me a weapon, they told me how to put my body into a position to support my arm position so I could handle the gun, right? So when I learned anything I've ever learned, had a systematic approach to making sure I didn't kill myself. Well, golf's not that serious, but there's no system to it. This is a system to golf right here. Okay, so now we have this beautiful system. We're going to learn in the correct order now, this way. Now we have the most important part of the adult learning formula solved, do we not? System. Right? We have a system for you to learn. Okay, so now I got this beautiful system, and the only thing, remember part of the learning formula, we have to have repetition. We have to be able to do this. So now all we have to add is reps. Reps to this formula. So let me show you the positions that I would teach you. Let me show you the single plane swing, and let me show you exactly what I would have you do reps and learn, right? So now I'm going to go back to that simple motion. The easiest way biomechanically, and I'm going to explain biomechanics to you tonight. I'm going to go very simple and into some detail. But I'm solving the adult learning equation for you tonight. I'm solving what you need. You need to basically understand and commit to what you're doing, right? That's my goal for tonight, is just to understand what we're doing here. I need to give you a system that teaches you this process as well. So I'm gonna go through each part of the adult learning thing when I transfer this to you, so you understand everything I'm teaching you is based in the science of you learning. That's who I am, because I don't like guessing at things. I grew up, I got frustrated with golf. I got so tired of guessing and seeing people. One was lower your hands, one was lift your hands, one was tilt, there was nothing out there that was working. I built an entire system around helping you hit a golf ball better. Now, I'm going to explain something here after I show you the swing. So let me show you the swing here, and we'll go through the process here. So first, address and grip. What I'm going to do is I want to put my body into a position that's very close to impact. So let's take a look at impact first, shall we? Let's look at impact. Where's our destination? The most important moment. So let me just go to impact here. And so here I am at impact. Now I want you to look at my position at impact. Notice my body is tilted. Right shoulder lower than left shoulder. My lead arm is lined up. See the lead arm lined up? Look at my body. It's rotated, but I'm stable against that lead leg. Okay? So look at my body position here. Look at my tilt. My trail arm is slightly bent. My lead arm is straight. My back of my hand is to the target. So that is impact. That's where I smash a golf ball from and hit it dead straight right there. Now, this doesn't look too crazy to you. This is where all good players will end up in a version of this. Some will have their feet off the ground. But I'm going to the most simple way to do it, which is feet on the ground, rotation of my body, lead arm straight, back of the hand to the target, lead arm in line. Okay, there's impact. Now let's do that from down the line really quickly. Here's impact down the line. Notice how the trail arm is now aligning with the golf club. It's not below like this, it's lining up. See the trail arm lined up? Look at my body position, look at my trail shoulder, look at my lead arm. Okay, there's impact. Okay. That's where I want to go. So let's put my body in a very similar position. I'm going to tilt my body. I'm going to line up my lead arm into a line. I'm going to bring my semi-bent trail arm slightly up to the golf club. Okay, so now look at my body. This is address. There's impact. Look how similar. Address, impact. Look how similar I am. So I'm in a position now. Watch this down the line. Address, impact. Address, impact. Very similar. Notice my body's I'm adding a slight rotation to my body, and that's it, because I'm going to need that for speed. So my address and grip is all about impact. Let me show you some biomechanics. By the way, before I get into the biomechanics, one more time in the chat, give me a 10 if you want to see a little bit about biomechanics of this, because what I love to explain in biomechanics is that there's an absolute physical reason everything I teach makes golf easier. Some people like to see a bunch of biomechanics, like, man, this is so cool. Some people like too complicated. I won't complicate it too much. How many of you want to see some basic science and biomechanics to what I'm teaching you? Once I show you this, you'll never be able to see the golf swing the same way again. Right? I'm going to show you this. Okay. I see lots of 10s. Somebody give me a 1 and say, no. Okay. No, don't do that. Okay. Watch this. Okay. Biomechanics. What I'll do with you here, though, because this is kind of fun, and I love to do this with you. There's a 1. I love it. Thank you. All right. So as we do this, you guys can do this with me. We're going to do a test. And when we do this test, this is a range of motion test. And I do this at every time I teach a golf school event. Whenever I'm in front of large groups, I have them do this test. And the test always turns out the same way, and you can do the same thing. I want you to do this. We're going to talk about range of motion, because what I'm going to show you with this test is that the golf swing that you want is already inside of you. You can already do this. 100%, it's built into your biomechanics if you'll just learn to position yourself correctly. I'm going to show you positions in a second. But I got to show you why, okay? So it's pretty simple. So I want you to stand, if you're sitting in a chair, that's fine too, because we're just going to do upper body. But as you're sitting straight up like this, don't tilt, and put your lead arm, your left arm if you're right-handed, it's your lead arm, your left arm. If you're left-handed, it's your right arm. But put your lead arm that you lead the golf swing with, put it in front of you like this. It's called flexion. This is putting the shoulder into flexion, okay? So it's just like you're going to make a really high handshake with somebody. Put your arm straight out. Now your back of the hand should be towards the target, okay? Put it out there like that. Now what I want you to do is rotate the hand to the ground. That's your full range of motion. You'll get about back of the hand to the ground, palm to the sky. And I want you to go the other way. I want you to rotate your thumb to the ground. You'll be about thumb straight down, okay? So that's quite a bit. It's almost 270 degrees of rotation here to there, okay? That's full range of motion, okay? That's full range of motion of your human body when your arm is in flexion. Give me a 10 if you get this, because this is just biomechanics. Okay. Now, let's do a couple things. I'm going to change your position. Remember, in a golf swing, what I want to do, where is back of my hand at impact? It's to the target. Why? Because if I grip the club correctly, the face is to the target. Okay? So I want the back of the hand to the target, and I want the club face to the target, right? To go straight. Okay, I'm keeping that in mind. Did you know that I can show you right now, how many of you want to see this? How many of you want to see me put you in a position where you can't do anything but to get the club perfectly square at impact? You can't make, it's called mistake proofing your impact position. Do you want me to see that? Otherwise, I won't show you. You want me to show you how you can never screw this up? 10. Okay, good. You got a few 10s. Okay, watch this. Okay, so remember this, you got all this range of motion, which means when I have all this range of motion, it means I could get the club face going hook, I can slice it, I got too much range of motion, right? It can go anywhere. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna tilt you, just like impact. I'm gonna tilt you. I'm gonna put the arm back into flexion. Now watch this. From a 15 to 16 degree tilt, look at the back of the hand. It no longer has its range. It can't go that far to the ground. It can still go a little bit, but it can go, it's almost straight to the target now. Remember when I was like this, it's to the ground. Look at, when I tilt, look at that. The hand will only go so far. It's almost to the target, just from my tilt. How many of you are getting this? Just from the tilt alone, it's called side bend. From side bend, which is biomechanics, it's one of the metrics of biomechanics. Side bend produces an arm that loses range of motion relative to the back of the hand to the target. Get it? Okay. So now, how important did tilt become to your golf swing? I mean, super important. Because tilt, if I lose the tilt, which when you come over the top, you lose tilt. You slice it, right? Okay, now my tilt has limited my range. Okay, step one. Now I'm going to help you make sure that when you take a backswing and you come down, that the only thing that can do is go to square. But here's what I'm going to call this. This is called maximizing your range of motion. So what I'm going to teach you how to do here is when you move the arm and you swing because you're in tilt, that you can rotate this as much as you want, as hard as you want, and the only thing that can happen is a square club face. You understand that? And the reason I want you to go as hard as you want is because I'm adding speed to you. Because I want you to go fast, but the only thing that can happen is a square face, right? We want that. Everybody good? Okay, watch this. So, once I tilt, this is called internal rotation. So, when I turn my body like this arm gets rotated. It's not because I'm rotating the arm. Keep this in mind. When I turn the body, this arm goes into an internal rotation. Mo called this in and up. So it goes in, it rotates in, then up, okay? So it goes in and up. I'm gonna explain a little more on this in a second. All right, so this is the same thing as you do in this. So watch this, stand straight up again, go into tilt, okay? Put your arm in front of you, like this is the experiment. I want you to rotate your entire arm to your thumbs to the ground, okay? Now, I want you to keep this shoulder in front in flexion, keep the upper arm internal, don't turn it, and only turn your arm, your forearm, from the forearm down. Watch this. And the only thing that can happen is the back of the hand goes to the target. It's as far as it'll go, maximizing your range. When I'm tilted, when the arm is in flexion and internal, the forearm can only go to the target. See that? Okay, so watch what I just did in the swing now. Tilted, backswing is internal rotation. Watch this. When I'm coming down, notice in the downswing how my arm is still internally rotated because of tilt. Watch this. If I come out of tilt, look at that. Arm went external. Okay? So I'm tilted. The arm is staying internally rotated. Now watch this. As I stay internally rotated, I'm turning, right? Look how powerful that is. Watch this. Square the face. So I'm teaching you the positions of the swing now. Position 1, it gets the arm rotating internally. 2 to the top. Stabilize. Go into position 3. Look at my lead arm internally rotated. Staying internal. Look at my tilt. That's position 3. Watch this. The only thing I got to do now is square the face as much as I can. I cannot get that face to close. I cannot keep it open because it goes to max range dead square. See that? So now, tilt, leverage, square. I just square the face, and I can't go any further than that. So I'm doing as hard as I can, and it'll square up. Do you see the biomechanics in that? The biomechanics are basically, if I position myself correctly, I can get the swing perfectly because I'm basically creating limited ranges of my body. That's biomechanics. The positions are creating limits. I'll show you another example. Lower body. Notice when I'm set up at my address position that my legs and my feet are somewhat rotated and my legs are in a framed up look, so like an A. That creates stability and bracing, so I rotate around the trail leg. Now I can stabilize, that allows me to rotate, and then when I stabilize my lead leg, I then rotate again. I'm basically rotating as much as I can this direction and as much as I can this direction, but my limits are in place. My foot position creates a limit, my head position creates a limit, and then my knees create limits. So the only thing left is to rotate the pelvis. That allows me to get tilted correctly. So what's happening is people talk about the ground forces, which are basically nothing but a bunch of crap, because ground force, the ground can't produce any force on you. You can only work against it. However, I can stabilize against the ground to accelerate my body. So that's what's happening is I'm using my stability of my feet to allow my body to rotate and accelerate. So that's what's happening. So again, I have the braking system occurring in my legs that then produces limits and rotation of my pelvis, which then allows my upper body to accelerate through its limits. So you basically have a series of limits happening in the body. How did you get those? Proper positions. I'm going to go through those one more time. Then I want to explain what happened in these positions. You're going to love when I explain what's going on. How many of you are getting all this? I want to comment real quick. How many of you have ever seen anything like this before in golf instruction? Is there anybody out there other than me that's digging into this stuff in a systematic way? I hope there is. They're going to have a hard time if they don't have a simple swing like the single plane, because I'm going to show you why the single plane swing is so effective. Okay. Here's all the positions right here. This is the positions I would teach you. Address and grip, call it position 0. 1, 2, transition, that's stabilizing. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your finish, max range. Look at that, max range. I can't go any further. Max range, and then you stand up. The reason I stand up is because I've hit max range, right? Once I hit max range, I got to stand up. But that max range is the end of the motion. It's the end of the acceleration, okay? Those are positions. All right, here's what's great about this. So now we've kind of gotten through what the heck we do here at Graves Golf, what the heck I've been doing to help you guys play better. I've been teaching thousands of people, and I'll tell you about a program we have in just a minute. But I want to show you what just happened in this. I was kind of keeping this from you. I want to show you what just happened. I'm trying to get the club to impact. The most important thing that happened there was swing plane. Okay? Swing plane is what everybody wants because that's how this club is designed. Notice how this club is designed on a plane. So what you're doing is you're taking the design of a club and you're moving in a way that makes it easier to get to impact with this club the way it's designed. So I'll give you a quick example of that. When I set up at address and grip, so address and grip, when I set up at address and grip, you see the plane of the club. See the plane of the club? I'm going to go back into position 1. I'm going to start going up to position 2. You'll notice that the plane of this golf club is the same as this plane here. So draw a line on that, and you'll notice that's the same plane. See that? I go to the top, when I come down, guess what? Same plane. And then I go to impact, well, of course, guess what? Same plane. And guess what? When I swing through, same plane. So these positions I'm teaching you, moving your body, are putting this club in the most ideal position plane-wise to get to the moment of impact. I'll give you a quick counter to that. Just think, for example, if you're starting the club on this plane and you swing it like this. See how the club's straight up and down? You can't hit a golf ball from this plane. Nobody can. You've got to somehow change your body position to get it to a place to get an impact. So notice my body has to change and really do a lot of crazy things to get the impact. Why would you want to do that when you can just take it back and down in the most efficient way, where the body has the least amount of motion and the most utilization of its biomechanics in max range? Now, I don't want to go crazy on that stuff, but I just want you to know that I'm kind of just showing you that everything I'm teaching you is based on the body's design, the way you're already designed. Okay. Let's take this one step further here. I want to do a quick summary of what I just taught you, because this is going to be important for you. I've showed you biomechanically the easiest way to swing a golf club, the single plane swing. It's based on biomechanics. It's based on your body's design, range of motion. I showed you some simple examples of how, if you position your body correctly, you can go to its max range and square a club face and hit it dead straight. I've showed you that we start with address and grip being on a single plane. Everything we teach you is designed to help you get to impact. I've taught you the positions of the swing. I show you there's positions or checkpoints. There's swing plane checkpoints based on getting to impact. I showed you that sequencing that is important, because if I sequence you correctly, I've got to teach you how to keep your head still at certain places, not always still, but at certain times during your motion in the positions, that the trail leg is still and the head is still, and the lead leg is still and the head is still, and then the head releases. So I got to teach you the positions based on your biomechanics. I sequence you, and then I can get you to add speed. See, what happens is, this is called my progressive formula. I have progressed you through training. You're an adult, and you need a formula, and you need a system. This is it. This is your system. Now, the final thing I'll say to this is, I want to answer the speed question. Not the swing speed question, but you learning this. How fast is it going to take you to learn this, right? That's the question that adults ask, and it's a fair question because you want results. So here's how I answer that. Matter of fact, my team approached me with this, because I've been teaching this formula for years, and my team said, Todd, you've been teaching this process forever, but how long? Like, if a guy came in and said, how long? So we built a 30-day training program called Single Plane 30. Let me explain this to you, because I needed some time. You know, remember that repetitive process is part of the training. We need repetitive process. So the question isn't, does it take 30 days? The question is, how can I get enough reps in, right? Isn't that the real question? Like, when can I get enough? How long is it going to take me to get the proper amount of reps to program this into neurologically, to find that sweet spot? Remember that sweet spot we talked about? I got to get you in your sweet spot of practice. So week one, this is week one. We teach you address and grip. And so I give you a week to get the foundation right. And you think, wow, address and grip to get it right. Now, the whole training process, and I'll explain this, we have accountability. This is a daily module training. I give you a daily module every single day. Let me just give you a quick example before we get there. Go back to that week one for a second. So quickly, when I give you a module, I'll teach you the fundamentals of address and grip, but then I teach you how to do it. I teach you how to feel it. I teach you how to create a system for it. Okay, so keep in mind, it's not just standing there and address and grip. I'm teaching you a systematic way to get it, okay? So that's week one. Week two, I start teaching you the positions of the swing, but of course, when you teach people positions, you're also tapping into the braking system, because positions create brakes. The positions I put you in create the ability to stabilize. If I get you in the wrong position, you can't stabilize, okay? So that's it. And then week three is sequence. I teach you the sequence of the swing in week 3. And of course, week 4, speed. So it's a 4-week daily modules every day, accountability, training program to get enough reps in to meet every single one of the needs you have. Let's go through this is my system solution. I want to give you the summary on this slide here, because this is what adults ask for. This is my science training adults. It really was the catalyst and the reason Single Plane 30 was built, was to help adult learners train and learn the single plane swing the easiest possible way. It's 100% designed for the acceleration of your learning. So that's so important to you because you want to get this thing quickly. It maximizes your practice return on investment. So you're getting the most out of your practice time. That's the way the course is designed. Because I know that it addresses your time directly, because you got to understand that I know that time is valuable to you and you want to get results as soon as possible. So we've addressed that throughout the program. And then we're able to give you immediate feedback during the training process because you're getting the daily training modules. They're measurable things that you'll be doing every single day in the training. My goal was the progressive training program in Single Plane 30 was to provide the adult learner the perfect biomechanical, anatomical, and neurological way to learn, train, practice, and maintain the single plane swing. And we've accomplished that with Single Plane 30. By the way, in the last, Scott, how many years? Year and a half now? Over a year and a half.
Yeah, a year.
We've been running this program now for 19 months. 19 months. And we've had, Scott, give me a number.
About 2,100.
2,100 people have gone through the program in 19 months. So pretty good. But it's not a very expensive program. I wanted everybody to learn this. So let's go through what the package is really offering here. It's 30 days of the training. That means when you get in the program, you'll get a daily training module provided to you. You'll get the daily accountability. And then we do live coaching support. So every week, you have access to the coaches. We're able to give you feedback, and you're in a training space, by the way, where you can talk to the coaches inside the training space. So you're always have access to the coach. We only charge $297 for the 30-day training. That's all we charge. I do want to say this, though. This is the caveat to this. It's so important to me when we do this training that we do it in a way that everybody's on the same page. Because you remember at the very beginning in the adult learning process how I want you to connect with the training? When the connection is also the community of people learning this. And what you don't want is you don't want to have one person in here in week 3 and one person in week 1. Because he's asking a week 3 question and you're still in week 1 or vice versa. So we don't want to, because it gets disconnected. So we start at the beginning of every month. Matter of fact, what day in October is the next program starting?
October 6th.
October 6th. So the first Monday of the month, we start the program. So you got to wait a couple weeks, 3 weeks before you start this program. But I put together a 20-day pre-Single Plane 30 prep program. So I know for the people who have to wait, I put together a training program to get you prepped for the program. That way, if you signed up now, basically you're getting 50 days of training. All right? So anyway, so I created more training for you because I know people don't want to wait that long because I know it's time. I know, it's like we got to get going on this. So I put together that for you. But I'm going to give you some bonuses too, if you guys want to sign up for the program. The Power Generation Masterclass is a bonus. This is a $497 value. Because when you get the speed, you want to learn how to create more power with it. So I put this class together for you. But it's a post-class. I do not let you see that class until you complete Single Plane 30. We talk about the difference between lower body and upper body, the power and speed, why lower body movement is the key to speed, and how to train and build more power, and what to know how to increase your speed. So that's the power generation class once you get to the speed production part of the swing training, okay? The other thing too, because we're going into the fall here, is another great time is I put together some single plane fitness in the program. It's another bonus I put together. So there's some fitness elements. Guys, I'm covering every base for you here. Here's the real question. Are you ready? I mean, are you ready to take on the training? Are you ready to really get serious about this? Are you ready to only spend $300 and have me finally give you the program that's going to get you there, something you've never been through in your life, and all the bonuses that go with it? You know, and the bonuses are fantastic. I mean, those bonuses are worth a couple $1,000s by themselves. I want you to go through this training. I want you to get this fundamental stuff down because this will change your life. It changed mine. It'll change yours. By the way, maybe you guys don't know this. I didn't even mention this, and I probably should have. This is Mo Norman. This is the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game. That was my mentor. That's who I learned this from. When I got so frustrated with all the instructors in the world out there, I went to the greatest ball striker in the world. His name was Mo Norman, and he taught me his single plane swing, and I took that and built a process. Part of it is his work with me. I built this into a process. So I'm teaching you what the greatest ball striker in the world did to hit a golf ball great. The gravesgolf.com/enroll. Scott, the links are on the page, correct? Okay, so there's the link on the page to sign up for the program. But we're running a little bit out of time. I want Scott to help me for a second. I want to show you something because so many people ask me about this. This entire program that you're seeing right here, this is based in biomechanics, as I mentioned, but it's based in 4D. I'm going to explain what this is, 4D. I built a software that you can put sensors on your body, on your iPad, and you can learn all of this stuff with biofeedback. Now, what does that mean? Okay, I'm going to erase this. I want to show you something. You guys are probably going, this Todd's crazy. It's all he does, is think about this stuff.
It is.
Yeah, my team calls me crazy. Okay. When there's a thing I call the Holy Grail of learning. The Holy Grail of learning is time. We talked about time a lot tonight, Scott.
Okay.
Time meaning the time from you making a mistake to you correcting it. So in other words, I get up there, I hit a bad shot. Number one, do I know what I did wrong? And then can I correct it? And then go through the process of doing it correctly. So there's that window. For example, if I use video, okay? And I hit one, and I go look at video and I don't like my grip position, I gotta go back, change my grip, and do it again. So there's that window of time from the time I felt the bad one to the time I felt the correct one. That's why you hire guys like me. It's why you hire coaches like me and Scott. It's why you hire us, because we can narrow that time to correcting you and having you get a result. That's the Holy Grail of learning. Everybody get that? Give me a 10 if you get that, right? That's the Holy Grail of learning. Okay, so it's this time thing. Well, just imagine this. Imagine if I could take that window of time from when you do it correct and I could eliminate it. So you, first of all, you know immediately if you're doing it wrong. In the moment. It's called biofeedback. Biofeedback. Biofeedback is eliminating that time between right and wrong. In other words, in real time, I'm getting feedback in real time whether I'm right or wrong. So I'm learning in real time. In other words, it's a coach putting you where he wants you at every second, in every position. How many of you would love that, right? So we built a system. And what it is, I'm going to put sensors on my body here. So this is a sensor that goes around my waist. And I'll explain this more. It's a belt that has a sensor in it. And the sensor is going to sit on my pelvis, on my sacrum. Okay, so right here is a sensor. And you want to place it right on the sacrum because that's going to give me the metric of bend of my body and the metric of rotation of my pelvis, okay? The second sensor is going to be in the middle of my torso, on my back, between my shoulder blades, so it has your back. Okay, so there's another sensor. Let me clip this on there. Okay, I think I got this twisted. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then this is a triangulator. This is on your arm. So the other sensors are reading where your lead hand is in this process. Okay. On the screen, you're seeing some software. Did you calibrate these already?
Use your post.
Okay. So what's happening right now is I need to tell the system exactly where I am in space so it knows which dimension based on the 3 dimensions. So I'm going to stand straight up and the system's going to basically measure where the sensors are relative to my target line. I got a target line down there.
All right.
Okay. Now watch this. So what you're going to see me do now is it's going to bring up a screen here. And on this screen, it's giving me the metrics of my body and the position I'm in. At the bottom of the screen, you're seeing the positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I'll go to the address position and notice how it starts lining things up. Is it an address? That's in position 1. Okay. Just click on address. We'll show them address. Just hold the position.
Let me just go manual here.
Manual, yeah. Okay. So Scott just put it in manual mode. So right now, I go to my address and you're trying to get things to line up green, right? See how red, if I'm out of position, green, and then rotation. Okay, so notice how I'm getting direct feedback. Go to position 1 now. And now, did it hit it?
Yep.
Okay, now position 2. Okay, it's lighting up green. All right, put it in sequence now. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to go through each position, and it's going to give me biofeedback. Am I hitting each position? It'll sequence me through this when I hit position. And by the way, I'm watching the screen because normally the iPad is down here, and I'm training directly in biofeedback, but now I'm actually looking at a screen up here because of the way we're presenting this tonight. Okay, so address, 1, 2, 3. Did I get it? 4?
No,
Missed 3, okay. 3.
A little less pelvis. There you go.
Get it? 4. Get it?
Nope. Go back.
4.
Now 5.
5. And then 6.
A little less pelvis.
Okay. Yeah, that one, okay. So notice I'm hitting each position with the system. Now, it's tough for me looking up here because you want to be looking in the, it's better to have the iPad down here where you're in your bend, right? Because I'm not in my bend here. So you want to be down here doing it. That's why I'm having a hard time hitting those positions. But this thing's giving me instant biofeedback on each position of the swing. Scott's going to show you something. He's going to tighten this down a little bit. Now watch this. So I have it on easy mode right now. He's going to take, you had it on 50%.
No, I had it on 100. It's on 100.
Oh, it's on 100. Okay, bring it down. So, by the way, there's a lot of ways I can adjust the system to make it harder. Look at the time on the top there. I have 1 second holds.
1 second.
So I can put 2 second holds on here. Let's just do a couple 2 second holds at 50%. So now, think about this for a minute. Now I'm training the position of my swing. I'm giving myself biofeedback, but I'm holding for 2 seconds. So I'm strengthening these positions. Here's the thing, here's the science behind it, guys. If you cannot hit these positions in slow motion, just like I'm doing here, you will not 100% ever be able to hit them in sequence and speed. Okay? And this is the problem with golf right now. And it'll be this way forever until people understand the way we learn biomechanically. You must learn the motion first, the positions first, before you can put it in sequence and speed. It's the way we're built. If you cannot hit the positions in slow motion, how the heck could you ever expect to hit them when you're at full speed, right? You can't. So these systems, the one I've designed here, teaches you the positions of the motion, and then you take it down and you eliminate the positions in between it. So I'll show you that in a second. We'll start eliminating positions. So what I'll do is I'll go through my address here. Is that 0? Did I get it? Okay.
Yep.
1.
Hold.
2 second holds, tough.
Yep.
2.
Hold. 3.
3. This will be a tough one.
A little more torso. There you go. A little less pelvis. Less pelvis. There it is.
Wait, it's 4 bend, see?
It's pelvis rotation. Top right. There it is.
Got it. And 4.
A little less pelvis rotation. 5.
I see, it's pretty good.
Hold. 6.
I won't do 6 seconds. Look over there. So notice 2 second holds is strengthening my body. So this becomes, how do I get in those positions, right? And hold those positions. Because when I strengthen the position, what am I strengthening? The brakes. I'm strengthening stability in my body. See, this is where golf is missing it. It's telling you to go into motion, but it's not teaching you how to produce motion with the body. You understand that? So golf is teaching you, yeah, we want you to go sequence for speed. We want you to hit the ball farther, and you guys aren't hitting it farther. You're slowing down as you get older because you've never learned to stabilize and accelerate correctly. Technique. They asked this, I saw this the other day, Scott, where they were talking about Greg Rose, very well-known guy in the Biomechanics, Titleist Performance Institute. He said the biggest thing to producing speed is technique. It's not really speed. It's moment of inertia and technique that you're creating with your body, and that comes down to stabilizing and these angles you're creating. It's being able to stabilize this angle and rotate as you stabilize that angle. That's producing speed in the body. And people aren't doing this. They're just out there trying to produce speed. They're not getting it. You guys are probably like, I'm so trying to hit the ball farther. I can't, because you're out of positions and you don't know how to sequence those positions because you're not stable. So anyway, that's what these are designed for. Now, I wanted to present this to you because Single Plane 30, the program I presented to you, is based in biomechanics from this system. I know not everybody wanted to afford a 3D system like this, a 4D system. I know people are like, that's expensive. So I'm like, how do I build a program that they can learn the same thing we're teaching inside this system in a 30-day program?
How much is the system?
This system is $2,000. That's what the system is. And by the way, not to get totally into the system, because people have asked me about this system, and we've sold quite a few of these systems. They're not super expensive. You have to have an iPad that'll run the software, but we do updates in the system quite often. Like we're doing we have training programs inside this system. And then, by the way, we have training for the system. So this is the system. If you guys are interested, this is a single plane 4D system. Here's the deal I'll do for you though. It's $2,000 for the system. You go to gravesgolf.com /
Purchase 4D.
Purchase 4D. That's how you buy the system.
It's on screen too.
Okay. If you guys will want to buy a system between now and October, you want to give them some time to do this?
Yeah, now October 6th.
Now October 6th, I'll put you in the single plane 30 program for October. So I'll do that for free. So I'm going to save you $300. So if you buy the system for $19.95, we'll enroll you in the single plane 30 for October. So that's my deal for you tonight. So that's the kind of the offer I have if you're interested. Otherwise, just get in the single plane 30. But this was a way that if you guys were really interested in taking it to another level. By the way, I don't usually promote these 4D systems until we get into the fall, because these are really, really great when you're at home and you're not playing golf and there's snow on the ground and there's stuff going on where you can't get outside and play golf. There is nothing more powerful in your training than working with straight biofeedback, which is what I do all winter. I will do exactly what I did here in multiple sessions during the day, because my body gets stronger, I get in better shape, and I learn the positions of the swing, and I train biofeedback. The system does a lot more than I showed you tonight, by the way. It has we have training on the system. I just wanted to brief you on the fact that we have a very sophisticated, biomechanically proven system that teaches you to swing with straight biofeedback, which is nothing more powerful than that. Gosh, that was a lot tonight. That was a lot to digest. That was a long program. Here's what I want to do though. I do want to take a few questions, because if you have questions about what we talked about, the system, the swing, or the 4D system, I'll be happy to answer some questions.
And we do have a giveaway.
We do. What's the giveaway?
Oh. 27, Tris. Okay. There we go.
Oh, so if you want to know what this is, level 3 membership 1-year winner, Richard Berkmeyer of St. Louis, Missouri. Congratulations, Richard. Our level 3 membership 1 year means you can work with our coaches for the next year. So you get to get with them, send videos of your swing online, and they will coach you the single plane swing online. And there's a lot of other things. You get access to our on-demand channel and some other things. We'll send you all the information. We'll onboard you into our level 3. But we have a membership that's an online coaching membership. So congratulations on that. We had a swing question before this. It was about the left elbow.
Yeah, I can find it real quick.
Is that one a live question?
Yes, all of these are live.
Okay. Let me answer that one first. Okay. Left elbow. Should it be looking at the target? So let's talk about, I try not to get too much into where all the body parts are facing. There's some main things I look for at address. The first thing is this. You want side bend and flexion. Flexion is when the arm is in front of the shoulders in front of the chest. So when I do that, and then I put my lead arm into its full range like this, my elbow is going directly towards, well, I take it back. My elbow is going, no, it's going slightly towards the ground, not quite towards the target. Scott, can you see that?
Yeah, it's going.
I mean, it's hard to tell, right? Because, where are you calling your elbow? But I don't feel like my elbow is going directly towards the target. I feel like it's not quite towards the target. I feel like the back of my hand is to the target and my arm is in flexion. So I'm more focused on here and the hand and letting the arm be in flexion. Because you got to be careful. If you get the elbow towards the target, see my arm starts rotating. I'm just putting it in flexion. I'm not rotating the arm. Okay, so be a little careful on where you start looking at where you're pointing your joints. My problem is getting back to square. The back of this is from Tom H. The problem is getting back to square. The back of my hand face up instead of down when I swing.
Not straight up, more 30, 45 degrees.
He's like, this at impact?
Still, yeah.
This at impact? Okay, it's the easy one. So let's think through this. Guys, how many people are still on here? I want to see the chat again. Can we bring the chat up for a second?
Oh, there's still about two.
Okay. I teach, one of the beautiful things about having my system that I showed you, and understanding all the biomechanics behind it, is I teach from a causal perspective. Let me explain this really quickly. A causal perspective is, you gave me the result. You gave me the result. Your hand is not, you're not able to square the face, and that ball is heading up to the right? So you gave me the result. So what I do is I want to know biomechanically what's causing your inability to get to full range. Give me a 10 if you understand what I just said there. I'm going to look for the cause of you not naturally getting to your full range. Give me a 10 if you understand that, because it's important. I'm not trying to fix you hitting the ball straight. I'm trying to fix the reason why your body is not naturally hitting the ball straight. Yeah. So let's look at it from that perspective with me, okay? So for some reason, there's something causing you. If you're correct, so let's do something real quick. Guys, this is perfect. This is the single plane 30 formula, guys. And I'm going to show you why it works from that question. And by the way, there won't be one question you ask where this formula doesn't work. So let's read the question one more time. Let's go through my formula. Can we do it one more time? Let me see the question. Again, this is a very important part of this show tonight. And the reason it's important is because when you guys run into a problem, that's where this system, you need this system. That's why I want you to be a part of single plane 30. So my problem is getting the club face back to square, the back of my hand face up instead of down when I swing. Not straight up, more like 45 degrees. Got it, okay. So we're not getting the hand close to impact. So let's look at it. Address and grip. So the first thing I'm going to do with Tom H is I'm going to look at his address and grip, okay? And let's say that looks great. Tom, great job, your address looks great. So check that, okay? Now let's go positions. Position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to take a video of your swing, Tom, and I'm going to say, how are you doing here? 1. Oh, it looks good. How are you doing in position 2? Ah, it looks good. How are you doing in position 3? Ah, it looks okay. Well, maybe not. And maybe 4. Maybe our problem is 3 and 4. Oh, maybe you're transitioning. Maybe I see it in 3, transition. That's a rotation tilt problem. Okay, found it. See what I'm doing here? I'm using my formula to find the cause of your problem. I cannot fix your problem until I find the cause of it. I can't just say square the face. You know why? Because you're biomechanically not capable. Do you understand? So if I said, you just need to roll your arm, you can't, because you're out of position with your body. See, this is what golf instruction does. They're trying to fix the result, not the cause. What I'm going to fix is, Tom, you're coming out of your tilt, and the arm cannot go to full range. You understand? When I'm out of my tilt, I cannot get my arm to rotate because my body has put my tilt to where I can't put my arm into a full range of motion. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix position, transition, position 3, and position 4 so you can go full range. It's a rotational tilt problem you have into the downswing. So I've got to make sure that you're getting the proper transition, tilt, and rotation so you can go full range. And see my hand, it can square. Here's what you're doing, Tom. You're going like this. And I can't see my hand won't go there either because I'm out of tilt. And because I'm out of tilt, I don't get rotation. Understand? So you have a position, transition 3-4 problem. Really probably a transition 3 problem. And this is where we have to get you to fix that. And see, my formula will fix it every time. I will find it in my formula with a video of your swing. I'll find it every time. Single plane 30 program will find it because it trains you the correct positions. Again, notice that I can't even get to sequence. I rarely ever get to sequence because it's always a position thing. And by the way, I've said this before in my training, you cannot improve your swing without improving your positions. You cannot do it. The only way to help somebody get better at golf, swing, ball striking is by positions. We fix and improve your positions. Okay, that's what single plane 30 is all about. SP30. Let's go one more question. Oh, you want to do the offer again? So again, gravesgolf.com/enroll. That's for the October class, but you're going to get the 20 days additional training stacked in front of that. So you start training really right away. The minute you join, you start practicing in the program, and then the program starts with coaching, access, support, and accountability October 6th. October 6th. So again, the first 20 days, we're not keeping you accountable. We're just giving you some background information to prep you for the course. There's no really coaches involved. But then October 6th, you get accountability and coaching training for 30 straight days. Okay, just so we're clear on that. gravesgolf.com/enroll. Let's do 2 more questions.
Yeah, let's do 31, Trish.
Good question. Christopher B., how do you stop yourself from overturning? Positions, the correct positions you put yourself in, Christopher, will create limits in your rotation. Here's 2 major limits that help you. Trail leg, trail foot. Now I say both because if I put my foot in the wrong position, I can get in the wrong tilt, I over rotate. So trail foot position, and I'm assuming it's backswing rotation, okay, over rotation of the backswing, and head position. So the head is also a stabilizer. So if I keep my head in position both on this axis and on this axis, if I keep my head still and my trail foot and trail knee stable, I will basically limit my rotation. See that? That limits me. That's as far as I can rotate. So I just limited my rotation. When I move my trail leg in the wrong place and I move my head, look how much I can turn. So head position stable, trail leg stable, limits rotational ability. That's what you want. You want that rotational limit because now I can transition correctly, okay? So it's somewhere, if it's a backswing rotation problem, it's somewhere in head position, trail leg. Now, if it's in a downswing position, so watch what I do here. If it's in a downswing over rotation position, it's somewhere in lead leg side bend. It's somewhere in those metrics. So, for example, this limits me, trail foot limits me, now it limits rotation, and then side bend. Okay, so again, there's a metric somewhere when I train these positions that I'll know that if you're not in the correct position, you're not able to stabilize, there's not a limit in place. That way, and then you can't accelerate. It's all biomechanics, guys. It's all biomechanics. It's all right there. Final question tonight. I can hit all the positions. When I play golf, I tend to speed up the downswing. What can I do to stop that? Okay, you can't speed up if you will not be able to speed up too much if you're within your ranges of motion. So again, let me read the question again. I hit all the positions when I play golf, so I'm assuming you hit all the positions when you're not playing golf, but when you play golf, you speed up. Okay, so you're not hitting full ranges. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're getting full range here, and then you got to get stable, because if you get stable and side bend, I want you to swing as fast as you possibly can. See, it's not about speeding up, it's about hitting your ranges. You're just not hitting your ranges, so you're not stable. Does that make sense? So you're not going into your full range here, and you're not going into your full range here, because I want you to go full range. I want you to go full range here and full range here. So we have to train you within your ranges of motion. That way you go as fast as you can between those 2 bookends. Does that make sense? You should never have to try to slow your swing down. You should never have to try to speed your swing up. Those should be nothing more than range of motion limits on both sides because of your positions. I swing fast within my limits based on my position. So I don't ever try to slow my swing down. I just swing within my ranges. And that gives me sequence and timing. Timing is a function of this. So again, when people are like, I take it back low and slow, I'm like, you must have a problem, because if you're having to think about your timing, then you must be not moving through your range of motions correctly. That's where that comes down to. But again, I wouldn't worry about any of that. I'll just train correct positions. See, I'm not into like, let's try to overthink this. Just keep working the proper positions of the swing, and it all works itself out, because that is how your body is designed to swing it. Good? Okay, so the 2 things I mentioned tonight were single plane 30. I'd love for everybody to join me in that for October. If you do want to take your training to a whole nother level with single plane 4D, I want to make sure I brought that up because so many people ask me about that system. We actually have whole schools on that. We do a whole program on that. The single plane 4D system will get you into the enrollment for no charge if you purchase a 4D system.
And links are on the page.
The links are on the page below, and if you need something from us, you can always contact us at scottr@gravesgolf.com. My email is toddg@gravesgolf.com. I'll answer more questions if you have any. You can always email me there. Thanks for joining me tonight. Great to have everybody. Good show tonight. I appreciate all of you. And thanks to my team for being able to be here tonight late on a Tuesday evening to pull this off. Thanks everybody. I'll see you soon.